We have made observations. We've craved the indulgence of the Commission to take seriously our observation, and it appears that the Commission is not willing to listen to our own observations. Most of the results that have come so far were made observation. From the one that you have even declared here, we observed overvotings, and we have received from our own agent that the upload from the Bibas has not been taking place. So we therefore are not going to accept what we are presenting to us here. This is the position of the Labour Party.
Section 64, subsection 4A and B. With your kind permission, I'll read. It says, a collation officer or returning officer at an election shall collate and announce the result of an election subject to his or her verification and confirmation that a number of accredited voters stated on the collated results are correct and consistent with the number of accredited voters recorded and transmitted. The key word there is transmitted.
It is surprising that political parties who are supposed to be fighting now are in unison saying the same thing. Not just surprising, but fundamental. There is no point progressing in error, Mr. Chairman. We are racing to nowhere. This election started on Saturday. Today is almost over. I insist, in line with my colleagues here, that we get it right. Let us get it right before we proceed with the collation.
They said the voice of the people is the voice of God. Those of us who spoke from this angle are representatives of the political parties that participated in this election. And it is only responsible for INEC to listen to us. When you made your presentation earlier, you made it look as if agents are just here to rubber stamp whatever the returning officers are presenting.
I speak for APC when it was said that the political parties are in unison. We are not, and it is the discretion of the Commission to exercise its powers as it deems fit, may be reviewed by an election tribunal. And I think if we are not satisfied, we should let the process run its course.
We will not allow this to stand. We will not allow this to happen. President Muhammadu Buhari, the federal government of Nigeria, the APC, and the Independent National Electoral Commission, I refuse to call it independent, the unindependent, the non-independent National Electoral Commission has collided to usurp the power of the people. This is not democracy. Oh, this is not democracy. Everybody, the party agents are all asking INEC to do the right thing. What's the right thing? The same electoral act that was passed into law is now being requested that it should be followed, primarily followed. But then INEC is refusing to follow it, and there is a party agent, of course, who else, if not the criminal APC, that is defending this nonsense. Why? Because there have been a romance. It is only a romance. The truth of the matter is that sometimes when I look at people, I consider values and principles as one of the most pivotal reason for association, and that's why I say this everywhere. The emblem of APC on this country is evil, is bad, is devilish, and is wicked. You know why? This is a party that has allowed nonsense to happen in the name of governance, and then they have corrupted the whole system. The same INEC that conducted the 2015 elections, even though there were irregularities in the 3 places, but it was agreed that it was generally accepted. At least it passed the 50% mark. And so an incumbent party was sacked and a new party came in. The same party is refusing to allowing the Independent National Electoral Commission to conduct a free and fair election. Look at the manipulations going on everywhere. Look at Lagos. We hear that in some polling units, some polling units, the party would not have even gotten 15, But at the state collation, you are hearing 30 something. Then at the national collation, you are hearing 100 and something. That's what they have done. In Imo, in Ebonyi, in Edo, in several other places, in Rivers, in Lagos, and even in the north. Massive. And then what was not the reason for beavers? I keep asking. Why were Nigerians trusting that this process is going to be transparent? Because there was an agreement that there will be a transmission of results from the polling unit. That has not been done. And the INEC chairman is sitting in the National Collation Center and then allowing returning officers to come and give results without demanding that they should have uploaded this result. What is happening? And you say this election is free and fair. No wahala. No wahala. But let it be stated that INEC is now one of the political parties in this country. There were 18 political parties that participated in the 2023 general election. Of course, 2 of them merged and then coalesced to having the election, APC and INEC. Congratulations. Because I don't understand what nonsense this is. Understand? Everybody, they have worked out. About 10 of the party agents have worked out. They have staged the worked out in disapproval. And I support that because this is nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Why? What is all this? This is one election. This is selection. This is selection. No election. You have selected and then, oh, God. I beg. Now you have to talk. Now, good night.
I represent the Labour Party. We have made observations. We've craved the indulgence of the Commission to take seriously our observation, and it appears that the Commission is not willing to listen to our own observations. It is in this note that we have, as a party, believed in your own statement and in the statement of the Commission, which you have been promising Nigerians that you are going to conduct credible and acceptable election through the Vivas, which has been acclaimed, which has been said that it is going to be used for the purpose of uploading all the results. As it is, most of the results that have come so far were made observation. From the one that you have even declared here, we observed overvotings. And we have received from our own agent that the upload from the Bibas has not been taking place. So we therefore are not going to accept what we are presenting to us here. This is the position of the Labour Party.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Ina Okopi Agu. I'm the National Secretary of the African Action Congress. I'd like to refer us to the Electoral Act 2022 as amended. Section 64, subsection, you can refer to 64. Section 64, subsection 4A and B. With your kind permission, I'll read. It says, a collation officer or returning officer at an election shall collate and announce the result of an election subject to his or her verification and confirmation that a number of accredited voters stated on the collated results are correct and consistent with the number of accredited voters recorded and transmitted, the keyword there is transmitted, directly from polling units under section 40, subsection 2 of this act as amended. B, the votes stated on the collated results are correct and consistent with the votes or results recorded and transmitted, keyword again, directly from polling units under section 60, subsection 4 of the act as amended. Now the point is, when I stood up the other time, the point we raised was that any scope that comes here to share and give Nigerians results from their state, you must demand from them, if these results they are uploading or they are giving to us here had been uploaded before presenting to Nigerians. This is a simple thing that we want, so that it is consistent with what the Electoral Act has requested the Commission to do. I don't know if this makes sense. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Emeka Ihedio. Mr. Chairman, I can proudly say that I'm a person of high standing in our society. I've been a legislator for 12 years. I was a presiding officer. Mr. Chairman, I was elected by my people as their governor. Mr. Chairman, I understand the process and procedures. I'm a person who values the integrity of our system. And when there are doubts, it's important we all come up on one page. Sir, the desire of most Nigerians is that this process should be seen as free, fair, and transparent. I have been in contact with several agents of our parties across the country. Now, the fact is that results uploaded from polling units in a number of states are not what is being collated. Now, we've had incidents of hijack, we've had incidents of result writing, we've had incidents of manipulation. It makes sense that we interrogate these processes so that we, at this point, if a result is collated and we accept that those results are okay, then it's good to go. If we do not interrogate this process at this point, then it means that our business here has undermined the process. Mr. Chairman, I plead with you to appreciate the point we've raised and give some time to look at this so that the integrity is sustained. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for this opportunity. I want to actually refer the Commission because we have so much confidence. We, from the political parties, we have so much confidence in your leadership. And we know, as a matter of fact, we've been engaged with a lot of quarterly meetings. We have discussed a lot. And we believe you want to give Nigerians the best. And the greatest thing you can do for us is, at the end of the day, let Nigerians, the votes that Nigerians casted be what will be declared. I am very much aware that Section 65 of the Electoral Act, I know this Commission has powers for review. If there are states, for instance, where there are discrepancies, I know Section 65, subsection C, that has to do with the declaration of scores of candidates and the return of a candidate, provided that the Commission shall have the powers within 7 days to review the declaration and return where the Commission determines that the said declaration and return was not made voluntarily or was made contrary to the provisions of the law, regulations and guidelines, and the manual for election. Sir, please hearken to the cry and the voice of political parties, which I know and we trust you. Don't look at any pressure. We know you can handle this. After all, when forces we are trying to remove you as INEC chairman, we stood by you. And we believe you can give Nigerians the best. If there are areas where there are discrepancies, I know you have the powers to review. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Nkem Okando, agent for ADC. Mr. Chairman, I've actually listened to my colleagues, and I want to urge and plead. Since it is obvious that the results, most of them have not been uploaded on the polling unit according to the electoral law that we just read, I want to appeal that we adjourn this session to maybe 24 hours to enable the state people, the state collation officers, to upload all their polling unit results so that we can proceed. Thank you.
Good day, Mr. Chairman. I still represent APP. Chinemeloba is my name. It is surprising that political parties who are supposed to be fighting now are in unison saying the same thing. Not just surprising, but fundamental. There is no point progressing in error, Mr. Chairman. We are racing to nowhere. This election started on Saturday. Today is almost over. I insist, in line with my colleagues here, that we get it right. Let us get it right before we proceed with the collation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Dino Belaya, PDP. Mr. Chairman, I said the voice of the people is the voice of God. Those of us who spoke from this angle are representatives of the political parties that participated in this election. And it is only responsible for INEC to listen to us. When you made your presentation earlier, you made it look as if agents are just here to rubber stamp whatever the returning officers are presenting. Because you said you passed that stage, it's at the stage of ward polling units. But the provisions of Section 65 have already mandated you, because you are also a returning officer in this election. It's just the difference is that they are returning officers from the state and you are returning results for the presidential election. And the provision of Section 65 is very, very unambiguous and is clear. And it is that you have the power and capacity to review results here. And you cannot review results if there are no agitation of infractions from the political parties. And that is what we are saying. That we cannot move forward except the law is respected, except the promise you made to Nigerians. I have just done a little research. You have promised Nigerians 68 times that beavers will work. And my brother Barrister Festus Okoye, after I checked using Google machine, I promised Nigeria 118 times that beavers will work. We want to see it work and working by going to the portal to see all these results. It worked in Edo, it worked in Osun, it must work in this presidential election. We cannot proceed with computation or collation of results when we cannot see. The confidence we have in this electoral act is the introduction of the electronic transmission of results. If that is not done, then there is no difference between what we are doing now and what we did in 2015, because what you are doing is practical manual collation. That means the billions of taxpayers' money, including mine, that was spent on the issue of beavers and transmission of electronic results is wasted. And we should not be wasters. We want a categorical response on this issue of uploading results. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Nze Frank White. I represent the APP. Mr. Chairman, last Saturday, Nigerians trooped out in their mass, in millions, because of the confidence that the electronic transmission of results put in them. They came out and, it was so massive that so many of them left what they're supposed to do. Those days of playing football in the streets were not seen on Saturday. Mr. Chairman, the integrity of this process will stand undermined if the electronic transmission that my colleagues here have requested is not guaranteed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. First, I will seek a clarification. Do we speak as individuals or we speak for the parties? A situation where two persons are speaking on behalf of a party. I speak for APC, and I would not think after I've spoken for APC, my colleague should also get up to say he's also speaking for APC. We are not, in my opinion, in a debate. I will also correct the impression when it was said that the political parties are in unison. We are not in unison with, excuse me, Mr. Senator Melaye and Right Honorable, with all respect, kindly let me speak. We are not in unison with them. A lot of law has been procured, preferred, and quoted here, most especially Section 65, which says the Commission shall have the powers. These powers have been conferred on the Commission by statute, and it is the discretion of the Commission to exercise its powers as it deems fit, and not whether we demand it or we want to proclaim or dictate it. Secondly, sir, the same section has gone further that a decision of the returning officer under subsection 1 may be reviewed by an election tribunal. And I think if we are not satisfied, like has been rightly said, the whole world is watching this process. We should let the process run its course. Like has been rightly observed, there were elections in other places, some of which have been contested in the courts. Why is this being made to be different? Let the results be presented. And just to add, that the provision of Section 66, subsection 4, that is now being misrepresented here, says upload from polling units. But we are not here to debate whether it was uploaded or not. That cannot be reviewed here. So my appeal is for the Commission to proceed with its constitutional duty and make the results available. If we are not satisfied, we will approach the election tribunal. And that is all we are praying for. Like we said, the whole world is watching us. I appeal, sir, Mr. Chairman, that you proceed and do the needful and exercise the powers conferred on you by both the Constitution and the Electoral Act, and let us have the results so we can take necessary steps as we may deem fit. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, any more?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. My name is Zafanaya Gisalo. I represent NRM. Mr. Chairman, I've been in the Parliament to also make the law and also make the Electoral Act. Like my senior colleague said, Emeka Edoha. The law is there. The act is there. And just like the Section 65 have said, the power is given to the INEC to conduct this election. And election process has been laid down from the polling unit, which all of us went around to vote. And then after they are counted, the beavers were there to know the number of people, the agents were there, now the collation to the vote collection center. Everything was tight. The agents were there to see what all was done at the polling unit. And from there, the process is also there to go to the local government headquarters. This thing were done, and then subsequently move to the ward, move to the state. And in the state level, all these things were checked. And I don't think there was any problem. All these things have been addressed right from there. Coming here to talk on this issue, we are contrary to some of the agents that are saying whatever they mean, we should not derail this transition. We should not derail to deceive Nigerians on what is happening. What has come here is the right thing that has been done.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Clement Ojuku. I represent Labour Party. Sir, this is democracy, and we have spoken on behalf of our people. As you have promised Nigerians before today that our votes are going to count. In addition to that, you told us, or you told Nigerians, that our result will be transmitted electronically. It is not too much to demand of you to fulfill your promises. Again, remind those that is telling you of your supreme powers. Tell them you are not a military officer, but you are a leader of democracy in this country. Please kindly do the needful by telling the collation officers from the state to first tell us how these results were transmitted before now. Thank you, Mr. President.